another dumbass. Jim Jordan reveals his goals for a House majority, which I believe is if there's any sexual assault, he'll look the other way.
Our Congressman Jim Jordan, who's been there all along.
Also, by the way, is it just me or is Brian Kilmeade drinking from the same weird magic fountain that Charlie Kirk drinks from that makes your head bigger and your face shrink? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, it seems like they all sip from the same. I should have never taken that cookie from that old witch. It was a mistake, and I won't make it again. Also, pinchy face. Also, pinchy voice.
In the House Judiciary Committee, serves on the House Oversight Committee, and I wanted you to hear that, Congressman, because there was a.
All right, just put it on the fucking clip. If you're playing something he's going to react to, fuck is wrong with you, Fox News? This is their clip. I didn't pull this. They fucking did this. It's a 6-minute clip. You couldn't add 30 seconds more to the top of it so we know what the fuck he's referencing, you weirdo.
Time when you were one of the few standing by his side, your thoughts about how he got to where he is.
He's an amazing individual. The perseverance, the tenacity, the character to live through what he's lived through over the last.
He's a sociopath. Sociopaths don't have to have perseverance. It's like saying, oh my God, how do lizards crawl through the desert? By being a fucking lizard.
10 years is truly amazing. And as you said, the greatest political comeback in history, won the 7.
Is literally the smallest margin in 80 years. And they haven't even finished counting all the votes in California yet. It's like a 1.7% margin. By comparison, Obama and even Biden had super mandates to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
Swing states, won 30 states, won the popular vote, won an electoral college landslide, did something Teddy Roosevelt couldn't do. I mean, it is amazing to see. And what?
Sorry, Teddy Roosevelt could fire a gun, ride a horse, drive a car, walk down a ramp without assistance. Shall I go on?
I find most interesting is in the past week and a half, as I'm traveling about, I was in the airport, people will walk by and they'll give you the thumbs up. There'll be a little twinkle in their eye. They'll wink at you. I had one of the airport workers look at me. When I go down the ramp, he catches up to me and he says, wasn't Tuesday a great day? And I mean, it's just, you see.
Oh, you think that Tuesday was a great day? Wait till you're automated out of a job.
See that happening. So this individual is amazing, and he has brought a new coalition. Think about this, Brian. Did you ever think you'd see Donald Trump, Elon Musk, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard on the same team? They're on the same team because they.
Yes. Yeah. It's called Putin's pals. Yes. Obviously, they're on the same team. They were on the same team when he was running as a Democrat. They were on the same team when she was running as a Democrat. Fuck are you talking about? Yeah. The only thing shocking is that they're just they've just given up on it, and they're just straight up saying they're on the team now.
No, we all know he's the guy fighting for our liberties, for our First Amendment free speech rights, and for
citation needed.
Middle class, working class people all over this country. It is great to see.
Right.
And how would that, you know what, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be real. These are just phrases.
Now you're probably still.
That's enough, okay? That's enough. He should just be able to say the phrase, working people, working class, working for working people, and when they're working, and trying to get them working so that he can work for them while they're working on working. And people should just hear the word working, and then your eyes start to spiral, and then you're suddenly you feel this like kind of lightness in the pit of your stomach, and your eyes roll back in your head, and then thud.
His favorite wrestler, but Hulk Hogan is his second favorite wrestler on the Trump team, and you don't rip off your shirt on camera, but we'll work on that a little bit later in the year. Now you got the trifecta, you got the House. It's just official this week, late this week. It's not much of a margin. Can you let everybody at home know what?
Not much of a margin. It's a landslide, dummy.
What's first?
Well, we need to do tax cuts, reauthorize the tax cuts that helped our economy grow so much under President Trump. Then we need to.
Yeah, no. No, you're going to have to pay for it, and that's what you're going to have to do first, because one of the reasons why a lot of Republican senators signed on it is because it was temporary, because it would phase out. It'd be a temporary infusion. And they won't make it permanent. They'll extend it into the next presidency so that hopefully they can run on it in the midterms into the next term of whoever's in there specifically. They've got to keep punting it. If they make it permanent, fuck do I need you for?
Secure the border, of course. That was one of the key issues, the economy.
Yeah, shut Texas's border. Absolutely. Shut it down. Seal Texas in. Put a cloche over it.
Securing the border. And part of growing our economy, too, then, is common sense energy policy, common sense regulatory policy.
Well, then it should be easy to explain. What is common sense regulatory policy? Besides E. coli for everyone.
And then continue our work in making sure Americans' freedoms, their free speech rights, their sex.
Yeah, like my freedom to be on here and say, fuck you, you lazy piece of shit who knew about sexual assault and did nothing about it and should, and I should have the freedom of information to act upon getting the report about you covering for sexual assault while you were at OSU so that can be released to the public, because freedom of speech, man. I agree. It's nice that, see, bridges are already being built.
Second Amendment rights, their First Amendment liberties, their Fourth Amendment liberties, make sure those are protected. And these agencies, who he's putting good people in charge.
Oh, sorry, everybody. Sorry. I mean, I should have expected it, but I didn't expect it to come on so hot and heavy like that. Some people have been, having sleep difficulty lately, and some of them were attributing it to the election results and that kind of stuff. But also, I think a good portion of people's reactions have been just to the frequency with which Trump's nunt has been on television. I apologize I should probably lead the show with that from now on. Just assume that, but I'll remind, because we have new viewers all the time, because it's the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. I'm Hal Sparks, the most Hal Sparks you'll ever Hal Sparks in your whole Hal Sparks in life. Okay, here we go. Now let's go back to our regularly nunty program.
Charge of.
Honestly, that's just filth. Like how that thing doesn't set off Mike Johnson's porn app, I'll never know.
Are going to serve the people, not be weaponized against we the people.
I mean, it's got to be pegging the gilf meter at the very least.
That is fundamental. And then finally, what Mr. Musk and Mr. Ramaswamy are doing, getting at the ridiculous waste in government so they can come forward with a report. We can implement that.
Yeah, come forward with a report, baby. Because you know why? You know why you come forward with a report? Because it's not a department. It's a fucking committee. That's why. Departments don't have to come forward with reports. Departments just get funded, and then they spend their funding as you go. This is a committee. It's a committee on government efficiency, which is bullshit, and it's coog.
Pass that and make this government actually work for we the people.
So I know you're going to be chairman, you're going to be a member of oversight and chairman of the Judiciary Committee, but can you now take H.R. 2, which Senator Schumer ignored, and give it to Senator Thune, the majority leader, and get something like that passed, or do you have to rewrite it? And H.R. 2 is a more conservative, tougher border measure.
Yeah, I think we do both. I hope we pass it early on in the House, pass H.R. 2, or break it up into key segments. And one of the key things.
Oh, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first official goalpost moving exercise. That's right, one of our favorite games that they play over on the Republican side is take that goalpost and move it a little further. When you said you were, I could kick a 75-yard field goal right through the uprights. This is no problem whatsoever. Move it a little closer, though. Bring it in a little bit closer. As a matter of fact, my aim isn't that great, so make 3 of them, and maybe I'll hit one of them just by 3 of them being. Keep moving them in. Keep moving them in this way. Yeah. Most people move the goalpost that way, so it makes it harder for everybody else. We move the goalpost this way, make it easier for ourselves. That way, we don't have to cover any ground. Gain any ground, put up a good offense or a defense, we can just pretend we're winners and get a participation trophy. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Participation Trophy Congress.
Of course, is we codified the Remain in Mexico policy, which is so darn important. So we pass it early.
It is so darn important.
And then you use this process reconciliation, which is a fancy way of saying you can get past the 60-vote hurdle in the Senate. Use that to implement, to put the legislation in that vehicle to get it done for the American people and ultimately secure our border.
So hopefully you get that done in months. Also get rid of that app that lets Cubans, Venezuelans, Haitians get automatic.
Yeah, like that Venezuelans get some sort of a pass all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like if I heard about more Venezuelan migrant crime during, oh shit, what's that? Trump grants Venezuelans temporary legal status on his way out. U.S. will defer for 18 months removal of certain Venezuela. Is this brand new? My God, what in the world is he talking about? This is the President Donald Trump on Tuesday announced he will offer Venezuelan exiles protection from deportation, a move he has considered for years but refused to do until his last full day in office. Oh, this was last time, 1/19/2021. Look at that, 1/19/2021. Last day in office, last full day in office. That was the last thing he did. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Just a reminder. So anybody who came in during that year and a half, or who had already been here, got a pass, got a punt. And shit, if you came in, within a year, you could still kind of fall under that if nobody saw you. You could say, no, I've been here for a while. Huh.
Birth into the country, taking over cities and towns. So that would immediately knock down the numbers coming across the border and let those border communities exhale, and maybe the cities get out from underneath. Something else that Donald Trump was repudiated for during the campaign was saying that FEMA was actually giving favored treatment to Democratic areas. And anybody with a Trump sign or any Trump supporter was being ignored. The New York...
No. And again, this story has been so fucking tap danced around. Fuck you. There were people, anybody with a MAGA sign, it was FEMA people were getting shot at or threatened with guns. So they're like, yeah, give them a wide berth unless they want you to come in. Unless, you can wave at them. If they wave you over, then help them out. But steer clear so you don't die. We need you you need to live so that we can get the help to people who need it.
Rebuked him, said that was misinformation. Now we find out through text messages it was absolutely true.
No, you don't. It was not absolutely true. It's bullshit. It was a genuine concern because you guys have ginned up over the years with this fucking FEMA camp bullshit through Alex Jones that these motherfuckers they're coming to take your farm or drive you off, or they're going to put you in a fucking FEMA camp, and then they're going to take your land and take the lithium underneath it like we fucking need it because the Salton Sea is full of this shit. Oy.
Your thoughts about where we go from here and how prevalent this actually was?
Well, two things. One,
Please, do a hearing on it. Committee the fuck out of this. Bring everybody in. Knock yourself the fuck out. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's going to lose their job. They're going to come in and defend themselves, and they're going to go, yeah, we had people shot at, so we were telling them, be a little careful, do your due diligence before you walk into certain areas. If they're covered in, like, MAGA flags and shit like that, think twice. As long as you're not leaving somebody who's in dire straits, you might want to tap on the next door, and you can even ask them, is that person okay? Or can you give them a call? They're your neighbor because we're afraid they will shoot at us. Like, that's reasonable.
It's amazing how often President Trump is right when the media's, how he had it, how he nailed it.
He didn't have it. He didn't nail it. He was wrong. This is dumb. Bullshit. 100%. Fuck you.
Second, this is a textbook example of government being weaponized for political reasons.
No, it is not. Well, yeah, you doing this and attacking FEMA, yeah, that's a textbook example.
Skip the Trump houses, go to, you can't get a more blatant example of the weaponization of government, of politics involved in government agencies, something that shouldn't happen.
Bring them in, motherfucker. Interview all of them. Interview the people on the ground, the FEMA people. Ask them questions and let Democrats ask them why they felt nervous. When you called your boss and you were like, this dude is in the window with a gun and his fucking lawn is covered in MAGA flags and we're trying to get him to come out in case he needs help, but he's yelling obscenities at us, and we just moved on to the next house. Like, okay, that neighborhood, be careful. If walk to the next house if it doesn't have flags, and then ask them about that person, which is exactly what fucking happened.
Next Tuesday, we have the first hearing on this. We're going to have the director of FEMA in. So awesome. This investigation has been launched by Chairman Comer. I think it's entirely...
Yeah, and with his track record...
appropriate. We're going to dig into this and find out if it was an isolated incident or if, in fact, it was commonplace and widespread.
And your tax dollars will pay for this circle jerk. I swear to God, like... James Comer is probably if you want to cut some waste from the federal government, hey, Doge, you Koch motherfuckers, Ramaswamy, Musk, you want to go after a giant hole in the fucking budget that goes fucking nowhere? How about all of Comer's investigations? Waste of fucking time. Never actually offer any legal charges for any of the shit that they talk about. They ramble about this fucking nonsense on and fucking on. Never passing a piece of legislation. Never putting anything together. Good Lord.
That tells me it's commonplace and widespread because that's been the Biden administration. That's been their. No,
it hasn't. That was what Trump did. You're remembering during COVID when Trump was like at one point they had to leave the distribution of emergency supplies to Pence because Trump wanted to deny them to any governor that wasn't nice to him or didn't suck his balls.
Operation Standard, whether it was
gibberish, fuck you. And the assumption that people would go like, don't, if you see a MAGA house, fuck them. And people on the ground in FEMA are like, okay. And they walk by somebody who's like got a fucking 2x4 jabbed in their chest because of they were in the hurricane and they're barely holding on. They're like, sorry, you got a MAGA flag, fuck you. Like that happened at all. It didn't. Go ahead and have your fucking committees. It will be the same waste of fucking time. You'll yell at some people who are trying to do a real job from Washington, which is exactly what you motherfuckers complain about all the time.
You know, investigating parents at school board meetings, saying if they...
Nobody investigated parents at school board meetings unless they threatened people. They investigated death threats, you dummy.
FBI putting out a memo saying if you're a pro-life Catholic, you're an extremist.
Nope. By the way, all Catholics are pro-life. It's built into it. If you're an extremist pro-life Catholic and you're part of certain groups, then that's who they have to keep an eye out for. You know why? Because they'll fucking kill you. They'll shoot somebody. They're the people who murdered Tiller. Hold on. Checking something. One moment. Gotcha. Okay.
They've been political from the get-go.
No, they have not.
But this investigation has been launched by Chairman Comer. We're going to dig into it starting next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to fucking nail it. Starting next Tuesday, it's going to be nothing but magic. It's like the OJ trial meets the Menendez trial meets fucking Golden State Killer and Michael Jackson. It's going to be fucking must see TV. Just I'm so excited, can barely stand it. And let me guess, it will go fucking nowhere, and you'll yell at people who actually work for a living. That's pretty much.
And Congressman, we have our Weather Channel correspondent still with.
Also, somebody just said, wrong, Hal, I'm a pro-choice Catholic. Well, you're a bad Catholic by Catholic standards, and that's totally fine with me.
Some of those hurricane victims, North Carolina really needs a lot. I don't think the governor's responding. And then I got a new...
Fuck you. Gibberish. The idea that the governor's like, fuck my people in my state. Get out of here. You're going to tell somebody has, like, this, okay. Never mind the fact that Jim Jordan is always shitting on Washington and he's been there for a fucking decade now. And he hardly ever leaves. He spends way more time there than he spends in Ohio, period. And if he never has to go back to Ohio, he never will. And this motherfucker, who works on Fox and has his little, like, pissant radio show that he does on a loop every day, who probably the extent of like the material existence of his life is like Ben Shapiro level woodworking, telling people like a governor who's dealt with a hurricane or FEMA people to go fuck themselves. It's just gross. It's just gross.
Governor in. You guys got to go in there, especially if FEMA is going to be under the Biden rules of if it's a Trump sign, walk the...
Nobody's doing that. Nobody at all. That's not the rule. That's not the Biden rule. Never was the rule. Fuck you. How is it Congratulations, Jim Jordan. You managed to find the one person who could interview you who comes off as more of a prick than you are. That's impressive. That's not easy. It's very difficult. It really is. I mean, this man is the brown standard, is the shit standard for what it is to be gross and lame and criminal, quite frankly. And so for this guy to like circumvent the power of your shittiness is impressive.
The other way.
Yeah. No, we do. Your government's not supposed to operate that way.
It doesn't operate that way. It did under Trump.
Again, I think it's why I think what President Trump, you see all these people he's nominating for these key agencies.
And almost all of them have a sexual assault charge. Weird. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Matt Gaetz, Hegseth. They all are fucking rapey as shit. Weird. Why is that? I mean, it's not even like it's you know, some sort of like long dead story that people have forgotten about that may or may not have been true. We're not talking about like Brett Kavanaugh level stuff where, you know, I believe that's a real story, but it was so long ago that they were able to punt on it effectively. This is recent shit. Like in months. Is that I guess, is that part of the vetting process? And I noticed you didn't check the box under confirmed sexual assault. Is it because you're against it? No, I'm not against it. I just haven't had the opportunity. Well, we'll make sure you get that. That's good.
He wants a certain attitude, because that's what the American people voted for. An attitude that says these agencies will serve we the people, we the taxpayers, and we need to get
we the rapey McForehead.
Government smaller, more efficient, working for the taxpayers. That is the mindset, and I love the folks he is nominating and putting forward.
All right.
Yes, you love them. They love you. And you're all just going to get all oiled up in the middle of on the floor in there. Be careful. It's a very hard floor. You don't want to slip too much. And go for it.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun week in the interim.
No, it's not. This is gross. You're gross. It's going to be gross.
Leading through the holidays. And then, of course, January 20th, we'll see if the president gets the biggest crowd in the history of the presidency and the inaugural.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm sure it'll be interesting if the weather allows. Congressman Jordan, thanks so much.
Yeah, give yourself that out, or you can blame the fucking weather.
You bet. Thank you, Brian. Take care.
Jesus. Oh, and they're going to punish us more by playing Jesse Waters at the tail end of that? Holy shit.